Hi. I don't edit my stuff. Sorry, I'm here with Ephraim and David from Drive All Night, a Tori Amos podcast.
Hi.
Hi.
And
Wow.
yeah, I don't ever edit my podcasts, which makes it more interesting to me. I don't know. So, I don't know. It's fine.
Well, this is brand new information, so I'm adjusting to that in real time.
Oh, I'm sorry. Are you,
Just kidding. I
are
mean,
you
it is,
going to
but
have
it'll
to
be
hold your tongue?
fine. I can do that.
So I'm
How
very
are you?
excited. I'm very excited to talk to you guys. I'm a ginormous Tori fan and have been since, oh God, Little Earthquakes came out.
I'm a Little Earthquakes era fan myself, so
How old are you? If you don't mind my
not
asking.
I
Oh,
do,
he
and I won't
definitely
say.
does.
Lord. I'm
Yeah.
46. I don't care.
I don't care about your age either.
I'm willing to say I'm right in there with you. No need to get
Okay.
I'll get to
specific,
it.
but yeah, pretty close.
Yeah. No, I just remember when I was in, I guess that was junior high. I just remember my sister playing, I think it was Crucified that I heard first. And I like ran over to her room and I was like, what is that?
Same
And
gateway song for me, yeah.
kind of changed everything. I mean, my sister raised me right with music. Like, she um, had me listen to Steely Dan and Kate Bush and Tori Amos and Erasure and The Police. A good musical diet.
How much older
How
is
much
she?
old? Ooh, same question.
Oh,
I was about to say.
She's almost 9 years older than I.
oh.
I have a brother that's like 2 years older, and I'm the baby. We won't talk
Dang.
about the half sisters because that's sordid. I'll just
Oh.
say that Papa was a Rolling Stone and leave it at that.
Well.
Did you sort of go past your sister in terms of Tori fandom and other artists too? Like, is she still into Tori? Where is she with that?
Yeah, I think she was more like the first couple of albums, but um, like Tori, grew up religious, and so that was, I think my family had a big problem with the song God, which I did not. I was like, all right. Um, and yeah, so I think she was like a casual fan, but I definitely took the baton and ran with it. And um, I don't know, with her, I don't know, I feel like, because I know she talks about her songs being like, is it like friends or her kids or I'm trying to think of the exact quote.
Probably all of those. Song girls, friends, kids.
Yeah. And then like for me, like a lot of musical artists, like I talk to people about them and I'm like, if I've lost touch with their music, I just like, we haven't talked in a while. And, uh, but I feel like I've always had dialogue with Tori and I've always gravitated. Even there have been times when I've lost a little bit of touch, but I think the newer stuff brought me back. Um, I don't know, some of the stuff I mean, Boys for Pele is definitely my favorite album, for sure.
Mm.
That's my painting album too. I just throw on that album and stare at a blank canvas until I figure out what I want to do.
Wow.
But when I was 15, I think my brain always wants to think everything happened to me at 15. I don't know,
Uh-huh.
some weird trauma response. Um, I did a performing arts day thing in high school, and I sang Silent All These Years, and I didn't realize the significance of that until much, much older, and I was like, wow. That's
The
Wait, but tell us
nativities.
everything. Was this a cappella? Did you accompany yourself? Was there other accompaniment? How did you
I think
choose
I
that
just
song?
sang over the track,
Okay. So
but
she
just
was
the fact that,
providing backup for you?
yeah,
That's
sure,
sweet.
I know, but it was just weird to, in high school, singing that song, and I didn't really, and my subconscious knew, but I didn't, you know, my conscious mind wasn't aware of what was happening, I guess, at the time. Uh, and then And then especially once I started writing more, and like during COVID, I started writing a autobiography, and you examine a lot of things, and it's just that moment is just like, it was sort of a red flag, or like me raising my hand, like, hey, look, see me.
Mm.
So, yeah, I'm getting deep already. Here we go.
Yeah. Can I ask, when you said the newer stuff brought you back, what specific era was that, you think?
So I will say that I didn't quite respond to Unrepentant Geraldine's, but I don't know if I gave it enough of a listen. Like Native Invaders, probably, and then of course Ocean to Ocean. And I still, went and saw her when she'd come around, and I just, I don't know, like I just, sometimes you just, like with friends, you just don't talk for a while, and you just need to catch up, and you know, I guess some conversations hit you more than others, and but yeah, there were just a few albums that I was, so I didn't hate them, but it just like I didn't, you know, like I liked The Beekeeper, but I wasn't in love with it. Just like I go back and forth, but I mean, definitely the first three is like Holy Trilogy, but I definitely do love the newest two, and I go all over the place with her, so
Yeah, I love Ocean Ocean. I think Ocean Ocean is the best thing since Scarlet's Walk. Honestly, it's my favorite. It's the one I've
yeah,
liked the most. I love Ocean to Ocean.
yeah, it's very good, and it was a good show. I think I've seen her. I haven't seen her as much as a lot of people have. I think I've seen her about 5 times.
Uh-huh. Where was the last time you saw her?
It was here in Atlanta, and it
Oh,
was
on the in
the
2022 or
uh,
2023?
2023.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I
so
was at the 2022 Atlanta show,
uh,
but not this last one.
yeah, I think before that it was the Native Invaders tour, and she played with the symphony orchestra, which was really cool.
Was it the orchestra in 2011? The like quartet?
No, there's the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra. It's that's the theater. I don't remember.
Oh,
I don't remember the band, but yeah, usually people who play there, it's more of a like orchestral type of thing. I mean, which is up our alley anyway. But some people, like I saw Rick Springfield there, and he played with a full orchestra, which is kind of wild.
oh wow.
So you got like Jesse's Girl with a full orchestra, or
Yeah,
what was?
yeah, we
That's
did.
incredible.
Yeah, my brother and sister, we have each year we go, it's somebody's turn, and I think that year it was my turn, so they came up to see me, and we were trying to figure out stuff to do, and we looked, and it was like Rick Springfield playing the orchestra. I was like, okay,
Hell yeah.
so why not? And I saw Cyndi Lauper there too with the orchestra, and I'm seeing her in November, which I'm excited about.
Oh, is this her farewell tour?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I know. Well, I mean, she's, oh God, like 71. Yeah,
Jesus.
yeah, I know. All of them are getting old.
and we're following closely behind. Maybe not that close.
Well,
I'll
those of
speak
us
for
that admit
myself, Eve.
their ages, I guess,
Yeah.
Only to protect your recording. There's like a little buzz. Does everybody hear that little buzz?
slight.
Yeah, I want to make sure that your recording is good. I think
I,
that is. Are you on earbuds, David?
Yes.
Do you have
Not.
both
I'm
in?
not on AirPods. If that's what you're asking, I'm plugged in.
Oh no, it might be because you're not on any earbuds, right?
no,
Okay, yeah, it might be that then. Well, it's fine.
it'll be
I just don't
fine.
want. I just don't want to ruin your recording.
I know. Well, there was only one time that it ever got ruined, and it was the entire. Oh God, I can't. I think we talked for like 2 hours. This one guy, and there was an echo the entire recording, and I could not fix it, and it sucked because he told me the wildest stories, and he was nice enough to re-record, and the next day I was like, you don't have to go through all that again.
Oh
'Cause
boy.
I felt bad because it was very like emotional, and I'm like, we can just do the Cliff's Notes version.
Oh,
Was that with the software that you're using?
No, this one is like the Virgin Voyage. This I guess Riverside or whatever.
Oh,
Um, Before it was podcasters, I think
yeah.
through Spotify, and I guess they don't let you record on there anymore, so they merged, and I don't know.
Well, the echo generally happens because you don't have headphones on. Because what happens in the recording is that the recording hears, like what's being recorded is your microphone, and because you don't have headphones on to mute basically the our audio coming in, your mic is picking up our audio and your audio, and that's where the echo comes in.
I see.
Yeah. I
Well,
don't.
I mean, I've been lucky enough it only happened the once, but I mean,
Oh, okay, good.
I do try and do the earbuds or whatever when I remember to charge them. I'm just doing it on the fly.
Yeah, for sure. Where are
Um,
you from?
I'm
Where?
originally from California,
Oh, cool. Where?
San Francisco area, about 45 minutes east of San Francisco.
Is that
So,
like Pacifica-ish?
no, I was born in Concord and then grew
Oh,
up
cool.
in Oakley and then went to school in Brentwood. So it was real fun being out of the closet in a small hick town. That part of
Yeah, good enough.
California is like the Midwest.
Yeah, it sucks. California, I'm afraid California is going to flip blue. I mean, flip from blue to red.
Oh God.
you are?
Yeah. Yeah, I am
Sorry, just
actually.
am like bracing myself. This is also shocking information. So many reveals
No,
today.
I just feel like nobody's really supporting Biden, rightfully so, but like when it comes down to it, like I really just don't think anyone will. There's a lot of people who are really angry at him, rightfully so again, but like I don't think they'll waver in their non-committal support. I think it's going to end up being enough to flip the state of California because of the Midwest Northern California
Mm,
territories.
I
I
know.
think it's very terrifying. That's what I think.
Hmm.
Uh,
So I don't know what
I'm
to do.
hoping that I'm hoping that's not a thing. Maybe I'm just not hearing right because I have my bandage on my right ear. um, they're wearing like maxi pads on their ears.
They're so stupid.
It's
My
so,
favorite thing is when they wore those stupid T-shirts of his mugshot that says "Never Surrender." It's like, what do you think he's doing right there? Like he's getting his
yeah,
mugshot taken. He like walked into the jail.
yeah. I know. It's I during COVID and all that, we watched Idiocracy, and it was just frightening to see how close we're getting towards that.
Yeah.
Like it's supposed to be a
God.
comedy.
My friend's in that movie. He plays the pinball machine. He's like the
Oh,
Latino dude who plays the pinball machine. That's my
nice.
friend Rich. Yeah, we went to
Hmm,
grad school together.
that's cool.
He's a really great director. But
Plug, plug.
yeah.
Has he directed
Um,
anything I've seen?
no, he's a theater director mostly in
Oh, okay.
LA. Yeah.
Okay. Theater's quite different.
Yeah, I just can't get here to see it. God.
Um, so what got you all into good old Tori?
Um, I'll tell my story first if you want, David.
Yeah, go for it.
I have this like weird memory. Like the how I got into Tory basically like on the surface was I was at a CD store in my hometown and I they had this new novelty called used CDs. People bought them and they don't want them and you can get them for a cheaper price. I'm like, "Oh my God, I want to get one of these used CDs." So I was like going through the little bin of he had taken out the guy who owned the place had taken out the booklets and
Hmm.
they were all it was just I was flipping through booklets basically
Yeah.
in like this plastic sleeves. And so when I got to Tori Amos Little Earthquakes, I didn't remember her, but I didn't remember how I remembered her, but I remembered her because I like pulled out the sleeve and I was like, or I pulled up the sleeve and I was like, hey, it's that girl. And I don't know where I remember her from, but what I pieced together is that a couple months before that, when I lived in Bullhead City, Arizona, with my dad, and we had a satellite dish. Must have seen Silent All These Years, the video, because it was not just her that I remembered; it was her in the box specifically that I
Yeah.
remembered. So it must have been that video some other time. So I bought it because I was like, "Hey, it's that girl," and I had this like sense that I liked her, and I took it home, and I just really didn't. I I say I don't like it, but I just probably didn't get it because it was over my head probably.
Yeah.
Until one day I was like, it was just on, which was also weird that if I didn't really care for it, I kept playing it and why it was always on.
Yeah.
But um, I heard for the first time, and I'd had it for like a week or so, and I'd heard for the first time the line, um, the line from Me and a Gun when he buttons down his pants. That line, I'm
Hmm.
like, wait, what's happening? And then I actually like heard that song for the first time, like
Yeah.
actually understood what was going on, and then
Yeah.
I was 100% in at that point.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, that was my Torigin story.
Torch.
Yeah.
I'm always delighted by the specificity of, hey, it's that girl.
Hey, it's that
I
girl.
love it.
Yeah, I know. It's that redhead chick that I saw on the TV.
Yeah, it's that girl. She was small in a box, David.
Yeah.
Just a little girl.
She was so small. What's she doing in there, that girl?
What's she doing in that box? Take her
Who's
out,
that
David.
girl? Oh wait, wrong chick.
I
Uh,
love that movie. That's actually my favorite Madonna movie.
I do love that movie too. But
No offense.
we'll get back to the Queen.
what is
You know.
she? Sorry, not to follow you down the Madonna track, but like I
I
understand her
know.
biopic is still alive and kicking, and it's going to be called "Who's That Girl?" or "There's That Girl." Is it some derivation of "Who's That Girl"?
Um, there's no official anything. I think what happened is just she posted an Instagram story and she had a typewriter in front of her and they zoomed in on the pages. And it's probably a working title, so who knows? But everybody just ran with it and they're like, the official title. I'm like, nothing's official. So
Oh, I haven't seen this. It was an actual typewriter,
yeah,
not
it's
a
the
word processor.
yes, no, she because during Madam X she got big into the whole typewriter thing, and so I guess it was the same one that she used in one of the videos, and but yeah, she's just like in her house with a bunch of books, and then she's typing stuff, and you can see words on the page, and it does say who's that girl. So,
Okay.
but I don't know. And the rumor is that what is it? Julia Garner has been over the past year while Madonna's been on tour has been like secretly rehearsing and like gearing up for it. So I don't know if that's true either.
Wow. What if we found out it's been Julia Garner this whole time on Madonna's current tour?
I'm pretty sure it's her. I'm pretty sure she picked her. Oh yeah, that'd be funny. It was not Madonna on tour at all. It was just Julia.
Madam X is kind of doll posse-esque, right? I'm not like super well versed in the Madam X era, but isn't she kind of different characters? Like, I'm a ballerina, I'm a spy, I'm a typist.
Yeah, a
Okay.
typist.
What?
I'm an esthetician.
Oh my god.
No, yeah, she just does all these different characters. It is very, yeah, sort of doll posse, like with the sprinkles of strange little girls,
Yeah, but with
which,
more focus on occupation, I guess. I'm not sure what any of the
yeah,
dolls did for a living. Are you, Eve?
Yeah, Isabel was a photographer.
Oh, did she make money doing that, or was that just a hobby?
Obviously, she was a journalist.
Okay.
Come on. Obviously.
I have a feeling we're going to
A
be filling this
photojournalist.
out when we get to the doll posse era, like building
Yeah,
more
obviously she's a
backstory than was
photojournalist.
provided to us.
um, Santa's a cocktail waitress, as you must know, as you could gather.
Pip is
um,
a rubber saleswoman.
oh yeah, obviously she's just wearing the merch to like show it off,
Uh-huh.
just like you to entice you.
Promote her Etsy
Um,
store.
it's funny because you mentioned there's like little strange little girls esque
hmm
sort of thing going on in Madam X, which I listened to once, and I'm terribly sorry, but I didn't care for it, so I never listened to it again.
no, it's
But
fine.
yeah, you didn't make it, so it's okay. um, but I do know for a fact that Lourdes is a huge Tori Amos fan,
Oh, that
and I
doesn't
know
surprise me.
And I know this because I don't know how I know this. I know this because she either commented on Lourdes either comment. I think she commented on Rance Hosley's Instagram, or he commented on Tori. There was some commenting on some Instagram, but I took screenshots, but then I lost them in my giant folder of 20 million photos. But I just started reorganizing everything by year, and I'm going through everything. So in the next like month or two, I'm gonna find those goddamn screenshots to prove to everybody that Lourdes at some point went backstage and talked to Tori Amos, and she was a huge fan of Tori's music.
Yeah, I'm
So
sure she did. One of my there's a quote from Tori where she talks about Madonna, and I love it. And I'm just going to paraphrase because I don't remember exactly, but she said something like, "Oh, I said before, I love Madonna. I would make her a plate of spaghetti." And
mm-hmm,
it's like that's a very Tory thing to do.
mm-hmm.
Oh, here, I love it. Have some spaghetti.
Well, when Madonna fell on that show on the Brit
Hmm.
Awards, I think,
Yeah,
um, and everybody started. I mean, it was a really bad fall, obviously, and there was like this period of like, oh my God, is she okay? But then there was a period of like, and then there was a period of like, wow, what a badass to get right back up and like not miss a beat. But then there was a period of like, she's too old to be doing this anyway.
yeah.
And then that's when Tori came out. Do you remember, David, that Tori like defended Madonna at
I
that point?
do. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they even on her last tour, they tried it because she was in a box suspended over the audience doing Rave Light, and there was a bar that she was holding on to, but she's over the entire audience. I would hold on to a bar too.
Hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, she's got a harness, but it's like it's balance, and everybody's like, "Oh, well, she has to hold on to it for support because she's old." And I'm like, "Can you just shut up about the old thing? It gets old."
Yeah, that was old. The only person who would be flying sky high above an audience not holding onto the pole is that kid who ran onto Michael Jackson's like electric lift. Do you remember that kid?
No.
Michael
Uh,
Jackson's they're sending Michael Jackson up on this cherry picker above the entire crowd, and this kid just goes running for the cherry picker right before he gets too high for anybody to do anything about it.
oh my
And so
god.
he's just there, like could fall to his death. And the only one worried about this kid is Michael Jackson trying to perform while clinging to this child for dear life so that this kid just doesn't fall off this cherry picker. He's like
Oh.
holding it and but not missing a beat on the song. So like, hey. But yeah.
Mm, mm, mm.
You have to watch that on YouTube. It's very good.
If Tori were gonna really add production value to subsequent tours and sing a song while suspended over the audience, what song would you guys want that to be?
Floating City.
Oh, good
Flying
one.
Dutchman. Flying Dutchman.
Ah, I was thinking take to the sky. I thought you would say
Oh,
that.
Take to the Sky. That's better.
Yeah, bouncing off the clouds. I can't see New York.
Mm,
I don't know why Siren just feels well. I mean, Siren's my favorite Tory song, so there you go.
mm.
But I was glad I have actually seen her do it live twice, and that was amazing.
This last tour that you saw?
No, I think it was the one before that, and then I saw her on oh God, was it the original? What was the original Sensuality tour? Was it just that, or was it called something
Oh
different?
five. There was two. There was Original Sensuality, which was the first little tour, and then there was Summer of Sin in the summer. But they were
It was
both in the
probably the
same
Summer
album.
of Sin because it was summer. So,
Oh, okay.
Siren always
uh,
means a good show.
What?
I just what was
What did you
that?
say? What did you say,
I
David?
said siren is always an indicator of a good show.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. When I saw her on the Native Invaders tour, she did like a giant portion of Little Earthquakes, and I just went by myself, and there was some straight couple next to me, and like I had to apologize. I was like, and I explained how I discovered her and my love for Tori and everything. And then once she started doing that, I was like, I'm going to be singing loudly and crying, so I apologize. Yeah.
Hey, never
So
apologize.
I know, but I think they were fine. But yeah,
Like they left, but I think they were fine.
yeah. No, I don't think I've ever seen anybody leave from a Tory concert. I mean, people have with Madonna concerts because they apparently have to work the next morning and don't schedule accordingly.
Well, oh boy, Madonna.
I know, I know. No,
Oh
when I went
boy.
and saw her in Chicago for Madame X tour, it did start a bit late. I mean, not crazy, but there was a woman who was like, "Oh, we got to go," and she gave me her ticket, and so I just kept like moving up until I was like in the front. I was like, "Well, this is not terrible," but it was easier to do because it was a theater. So I think
Hmm.
um, the maitre d's were busy or what have you.
Wait, so you're originally from California. Where do you live now?
I'm in Atlanta.
Oh, Atlanta. Okay, that's why you went to that show.
Yeah.
How's it out there? Is it humid?
Yeah, it's like it's working on raining right now. And it sucked because yesterday was my first day to actually get in the pool, and like I was in it for 10 minutes and it rained. I was like, never mind.
No, you can't. Is it bad? It's bad to swim while it's raining, right?
I think so. I mean, I know you're not supposed to, but that just may be like, urban legend or whatever. But yeah, no, I
I
moved out. I moved out to the south. Oldest story tells old as time. I met a boy online and moved
That's
from
how Adam and
California to
Eve met,
Tennessee.
you know. That's
Huh?
how that's how Adam and Eve met. A
Yeah,
Christian mingle.
Our time.
yeah, I know. No, we actually met on a site that's not any longer, but I wish it were. It was called gaygoth.net.
Gaygoth.net.
Uh-huh.
Damn, that's
Yeah,
hardcore.
so that was kind of fun. All
How
right, it
many
was like a
people were
bulletin
on
board
that?
thing. Yeah.
Do you have a sense of like what the user base was like? I'm asking because once I joined like a queer horror lovers dating site, and I was like, oh, I'm definitely gonna find my soulmate on here. And
Oh,
there were like three people on it, and they were all disasters. But
oh yeah. Well, now especially, I think at the time there was like less um out there, so I think there were more people on certain things because, there was like only one like that. And I mean, I've seen apps that are supposedly like queer and horror, and I'm like, yeah, right. And they're all like people in like Germany or whatever. I'm like, okay, no. Um, but even the apps that are, the regular apps suck too. It's just all, yeah.
I'm
Dating
in
is
my
terrible.
no dating. I'm in my no dating, no app era.
Oh, I try,
I
but I can't. I'm always window shopping.
really, I was for most, I mean, all of this year, I was really, really focused on men,
Mm,
but just in the last, like, probably, I don't know, like a switch flipped at some point in like early June, mid-June. And I was just like, you know what? I just want to sit here on my couch, watch movies, eat whatever I want, anytime I want, and I don't want to think about boys for the rest of the year.
yeah, I
So,
know. I need to do that because I'm recovering from a fuck boy.
mhm.
And
How can you recover from a fuckboy? A fuckboy is a fuckboy.
I know, well, he was supposed to be that, and it was continuous. And
Then he's not a fuckboy.
I know. Well,
Then
it's like I hate. I'm like I don't think any. I don't know. A part of me like wants to say things, and a part of me doesn't because I'm like, well, what if he or somebody listens to it?
once you catch feelings, the moment you recognize you catch feelings, you have to run or confront them because they're not, like you're gonna be if you're in a fuckboy situation, if you're like in
Yeah,
a casual sex sort of hookup situation, if one of you catches feelings, you either have to confront it immediately or never see that person again because
right.
what's gonna happen? I'm serious
No, I know.
because what's
Well, I have to see
that's
him again
that's
because
David laughing in the background because he
yeah,
thinks that's avoidant, but it's not. It's like
yeah,
because you don't want to be the one sitting there like pining after somebody that thinks
yeah,
you're a one night, not a one night stand, but thinks you're just like a hookup,
right.
you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, I
that's
mean,
my
and
advice.
that's what it's supposed to be. It's just it's frustrating because it's like the communication and he's just flaky, and he
Mm,
was bitching about somebody ghosting him, and his coworker was like, "You do that to other people, so what's the big deal?"
mm,
I don't know, but I mean, he works at a place I frequent, so it's not like I just I shan't stop going there, so I have to just deal. Like, he was there last night. I was like, I will just figure it out.
Mm.
So, but he's oblivious and doesn't really realize that, anything's anything, and I don't know. Silly
Mm.
boys. But back to, we never got into David's origin story.
Oh, sure. My Torigin story?
Your Torigin. We got distracted by Madonna, which is
Okay.
always the way.
Do you think you can stay a week for this, Eve? I feel bad. I think you've heard me tell this, or I've told you this story like a dozen times.
Oh, can I stay awake for
Yeah,
it? You've
yeah.
heard me tell my story a million times.
I love it.
Oh,
That girl.
is it boring? No, I'm just kidding.
Probably. Who knows? You tell me. I went to Catholic school, and
Oh,
in my here we go, Catholic school,
yeah.
and in my 8th grade religion class, we were all tasked with like leading prayer, each class, and we took turns.
Mhm.
And so one of the options, or like devotion, or like whatever they called it, one of the options we had was bringing in a song with the lyrics and playing it, and then having the class discuss it. And so
Oh, you didn't, did you?
I didn't, because I didn't know who
Oh,
Tori was.
okay.
But this girl brought in Crucify,
hmm
and the teacher had examined the lyrics ahead of time and declared that they were inappropriate. And she didn't think that that song should be played in class unless this girl could make a compelling argument for why we should all hear it and talk about it. And then she would play it. So I guess my classmate was able to do that. I don't remember what she said. I wish I did. But she played the song, and I had a real moment of, like, I don't know what you would call it, a shiver of recognition. I was like, no, I've never heard this song before, and it sounds so weird, but also so weirdly familiar, and I'm really responding to it, and I just know I need this, all of this, and more of it in my life and my ears right now.
Yeah.
So I got Little Earthquakes and mostly listened to Crucify kind of on repeat for a long time before I started making my way through the album, and could feel kind of the fascination growing and trying to process, like, what am I responding to in this music? Is it
Yeah.
her? Is it Tori herself? And then once I had some visuals, I was trying to convince myself, like, I'm responding to this so strongly. This must be an indication that I'm actually heterosexual, right? And
Heterosexual?
yes, and that suddenly, suddenly these feelings attached to this woman, question mark, will become sexual, and I will be straight, and this will all make sense because I'm feeling so passionate about this. This must be what other boys mean when they talk about girls, right? But that was not the case. I soon figured out it was just the music, which I felt was sort of like pointing me towards a way of seeing and experiencing the world and asking questions that I must have had some sense was out there, but I wasn't having mirrored or modeled for me by my family or my school or anything else. So I
Yeah.
certainly felt kind of like led by it in a profound way. And I was, believe it or not, I was actually thinking about this morning when I woke up. I don't know why, other than I guess I think about Under the Pink pretty much every morning when I wake up.
Mm,
But for some reason, I was thinking about the fact that Under the Pink is 30 years old, and I remember
that's wild.
becoming a fan pre-Under the Pink, but really becoming a super fan while the Under the Pink press cycle was still active, and buying that spin with her on the cover and everything. So I was like, I can legitimately say that I've been a really big Tori fan for 30 years for sure, and more than 30, but that's
Yeah.
wild. So yeah.
See, that's not a
wild.
boring story.
Oh, thanks. Eve, are you there? Poking you?
I'm sorry, hello? Yes, of course.
Who
I've
is
heard
that?
that story a million times. I could
I
tell
know.
that story. And when I thought next time anyone asks us to
Yeah.
tell our origin stories, you should tell mine. I'll tell yours.
Okay, that's what we'll do.
But we
that'd be
have to
fun.
believe it. Like, I have to pretend that I went. I mean, I had to believe I went to Catholic school. You know,
Mm-hmm. I think you
like
can
it.
sum that up. Yeah.
See, and it's funny to me because, well, they're both very different artists, obviously. Like, Madonna and Tori, I definitely gravitated because of the subject matter and the empowerment that it brought. And, both were, I mean, they were raised Catholic. I was raised Baptist. Southern Baptist at that. But oh wait, no, Tori wasn't Catholic. She was oh God, what denomination was
Methodist.
she? Methodist. Ugh, is that the snake people?
Oh no. Well,
Oh, I don't know.
Like, well,
I think they're just human beings.
no, I mean they hold the snakes and they like speak in tongues. That's not the
Oh,
Methodist, is it?
no, that's like Pentecostal.
Oh, okay, okay.
oh,
I don't know. It's all weird to me, but yeah, just that whole growing up religious. Like I went to Christian school and Christian camp and anything Christian, and I almost was put in conversion therapy, and just these artists that I discovered, Tori and Madonna especially, were very much a gateway and a portal out. So yeah, I think music is why I'm still alive. I mean, plain and simple.
mm.
But
I
lots of listening to Tori. Icicle really hit home for me a lot. That and I'm a natural redhead too, so that's another reason why I was drawn to Tori. It's like, although she's not. I mean, is she a natural redhead?
Definitely not.
no, no.
I didn't think so. Mary Ellen is not a redhead,
We know,
but
yeah, she's brunette, but we
but
only
I
ever knew her from gray haired.
yeah, but I do love the line. He's in my pumpkin PJs. Which I do refer to my nether region as a pumpkin patch.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, is that how your
Well,
love of
I have a
Halloween
jack.
also is brought into
I
this?
do I do love Halloween. I actually have a jack o' lantern tattoo on my hip.
Okay. Well, I have an
Oh.
actual pumpkin patch right now, but yours is better. Yours is better.
Oh, like with pumpkins.
With pumpkins, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Um,
I just don't think I'm exposed enough to the world because, like,
I disagree, but
I
go
would.
on.
No, I just don't think I am because, like, it never would occur to me without a yard to go have a pumpkin patch. Like, it just never would ever cross my mind. And then when you say you have a pumpkin patch, I'm like, oh, that's something I would do if, like, I had a lot of money. Like, I would do that. But then even if I had a lot of money, it still wouldn't occur to me to go get a pumpkin patch
But why
because
would
it's.
it? That's like not really one of your things. But when you're passionate about anything
But
else, you
maybe
find ways to make it
yeah,
happen.
but no, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that yes, I do that. Thank you for the compliment, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking
Okay.
about like things that I don't know. I don't know. Like there was a couple like instances that happened this last week, like the pumpkin patch. When you told me you had a pumpkin patch randomly when you were texting me, I'm like, this whole time you've had a pumpkin patch, I haven't even known. Like I didn't even know people had pumpkin patches if they don't have yards.
you
You
think you
know?
know somebody?
Yeah, you think you know somebody, but like there's this whole and then Maggie's getting into like all these women's sports, like going to ladies basketball games, and I'm just like, like. There's so many things I don't know about out there. And there was another thing. Oh, like me and my friend Madeline were talking. We lived literally in the same block of downtown Los Angeles, and I asked her like, "What restaurants do you like?" And she named like 30 restaurants. I'd never heard of any of them. I'm like, Madeline, we live in the same corner. Like, what? Where are you going for restaurants? What about LA Cafe? So
Although, to be fair, I feel like a lot of like big cities, they're always like changing and there always new stuff. And like I've lived in Atlanta for over 20 years and there's so many restaurants that I'm like, oh, that must be new. And I'm like, oh, that's been there? Okay, I have no idea. So,
I just
I don't,
think she seeks out more than
yeah.
I do, and David as well. Like, it never would occur to me to grow a pumpkin. Like, I'm walking back the pumpkin patch to the idea of growing a pumpkin. It
Yeah.
would never occur to me to plant a pumpkin. I wouldn't know the first thing about it. I like to carve pumpkins, but that never translated into going to make pumpkins, you know?
Well, I mean, but I think pumpkins are different to everybody, and I guess how you use a pumpkin or how you visualize you and a pumpkin is different.
maybe. The pumpkin is a symbol for all that's out there that I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, it's very
Yeah,
like Cinderella too, you know?
yeah. There was like, I don't know, like people who are really into scents, like, oh, like this particular scent that they're wearing.
Hmm.
Like that's another thing. Like, oh, I would buy that if I had money, but like, would I? Because I've never been interested in that. It would never
Well,
occur
but
to
I
me.
mean, you have your own things that you like, so, and I mean, it's not
Oh,
weird. You know, you don't want, it would be really boring if everybody liked the same shit.
I don't know if I like anything, but
Just
that's
don't
not
like
happening.
anything. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you like 80 years old? Is that what happened?
Me?
Yeah.
No. Today
Okay.
I feel 80. I've been up all night.
Oh, why?
Oh, because of the
Because you're
editing. Once I
so
get,
passionate about something. That's why. It's true though.
mm, calm down. No,
Oh,
because I was editing something.
oh. He's like, I have no passion. Don't get it twisted.
Yeah, relax.
Most
Anyway.
people would probably say it would never occur to me to start a podcast about something and then have to figure all of that out, which is
Yeah.
like relatively
Oh,
complicated. A lot of people would probably give up once they started reading about it. Like that sounds too hard.
Yeah. Yeah, it's weird because like I never even thought I would, and then I was on my friend's podcast, and I was like, I kind of like this. And then we talked about it. He's like, well, what would you talk about? And I'm like, I don't fucking know. And I was like, well, I like Madonna and Halloween and wrote a book about my childhood trauma. And he was the one who came up with Tramadonna. I'm like, cool.
oh.
And a lot of people are like, oh, I don't know if I want to come on the show because I don't really know anything about Madonna. I'm like, it's not about Madonna. It's just a cute little name, but it's about everything and nothing. I hate small talk and I like talking about real stuff and I like knowing, not just Torigin stories, but people's actual origin stories. And it's a great big world out there, and I'm just having my Oprah moment.
Hmm.
I'm like leaning in with my my hand on my chin.
Mm-hmm. I just have to ask, when does Halloween start for you?
It's always Halloween in my heart.
365, baby.
Yeah. Well, like I think I would like to have more Halloween stuff up all year round, but it's my roommate's house, and he loves the tiki and the mid-century modern, and so like I do a little smattering of like skulls and pumpkins, but like in my bedroom, it's spider webs and coffins and skulls and whatnot. And
Mm-hmm. It's cozy.
um,
No
I used
sarcasm.
to. It's what?
I said that's cozy. No sarcasm.
Oh yeah. Um, I've always loved Halloween, and I think it's mainly because growing up, I was told that it was Satan's holiday and
Mm-hmm.
that it was evil, and I was like, yeah, let me see about that.
You're like, I am interested in that. Tell me more.
Yeah, whatever they told me, no. Like my mother was she didn't want me into Halloween. She did not like my Madonna obsession, and she kept thinking I would wake up one morning and not like her anymore, and then came the tattoos, and she just rolled her eyes and.
She didn't like it, but did you have to like keep it secret? Like when you wanted to buy a Madonna album, where were you
Um,
getting the money?
yes, to a certain point. I liked her from day one. Like I remember hearing Holiday when it first came on the radio, and I listened to her in secret because I wasn't supposed to listen to her. And then Like a Prayer came out, and that changed everything. I remember seeing it on MTV, and I was like sitting on like the leg of the couch or whatever, the arm of the couch, and I just kind of fell off the couch because I was so like enamored by this video, and I'm like, what is happening? And just the whole religious ecstasy and just the everything, and I was like, okay. And I was in the store and I saw the tape, and I was like, I'm not leaving this store until you buy this. And my mother was like, nope, she's a tramp, she's a slut. I was like, I just pitched the biggest fit, and I got the tape. But that just kind of started it all because that was when I was finally able to like her in out in the open. I mean, but she was my portal to didn't know about the gay world. I didn't know about the community, and there was this person telling me I wasn't a freak and it was okay. And
So you knew or had a sense that you were gay, but weren't sure there were others. Is that kind of what you mean by you didn't know
pretty
about the gay
much,
world?
like, I
Okay.
knew there was something, but I just didn't quite know how to phrase it. And I knew pretty much since I was 6 that I was different. But, growing up religious, I was always told that, this is, hellfire and brimstone. And so, I tried to pretend for as long as I could. I mean, I even as a kid, I used to pray to God and I'd be like, okay, well, if this is really a sin, then give me a fucking sign. And it was very quiet. And I was like, well, there you go.
Hmm.
So yeah, and I came out in '91, and that was interesting.
Do tell.
But huh?
Do tell.
Oh well, I was in the 7th grade, and like everybody knew anyway, and I was just tired of people assuming and talking behind my back. So finally, in like one day in first period, I said, "Fine, it's true." Although when I came out as bi because I was like, well, it doesn't say anything in the Bible about going to hell for being bisexual.
In fact, it's called the Bible, so that's probably safe.
Yeah,
Ew.
yeah, yeah. Well, what's even funnier is the older I get now, I'm like, I think I respond to queer more so. I mean, I like gay and all, fine, but I do date cis men and I date trans men. I like the masculine energy and the presentation. The feminine, while it's fine, it just doesn't do anything for me romantically or sexually. So there's that.
So how did kids respond? Adults too, I guess. But if
Um,
you were being made fun of and you kind of confirmed it for them, did they lose interest in
no, no, no,
making
no.
fun of that, or no? Okay.
Yeah, and it was a lot of name calling. I mean, I did, get picked on a lot. There were, lots of, it was physical and mental slash verbal abuse. But I developed a, I guess, way to shift the conversation. I think my Madonna obsession helped too because I would put the focus on something other than me and the real me, I guess, and my sexuality and everything. So I would, use my obsession. Like I had a jean jacket that I put a giant M on, and I thought, and people called me Madonna sometimes, and so I thought it was fun. But also, I would just use humor or be, try and shock people so I could control the narrative myself. It didn't always work though.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no, it was a weird time to be out and be the only one. And I had closeted kids who were just like, "Oh, well, how did you do it?" And I was like, "I don't fucking know. Just got tired of it, and then I just kicked down that door."
You and Eve both. Eve was like 11, and he was like, "I'm tired of this shit."
Yeah, it's stifling in that closet. But I mean, I definitely think both Madonna and Tori had a large hand in my coming out. The year I came out, it was '91. Truth or Dare was out. The whole tagline of that movie was "The ultimate dare is to tell the truth," and I was like, "Okay, Madonna, dare." But then also, just a lot of the subject matter in Tori's music, and seeing what she had come from and where she was then, and how she was able to use her art and uh, escape it in a way. So
My
it's real
mom
fun
definitely
growing up
tried to
with
blame
religion.
Tori for me coming out.
Oh,
So that's a
Tori
thing
made
that
my son gay.
that happens exactly. Yeah, I'm like, she allowed me to be gay. She didn't make me gay.
Yes, exactly. Well, it's just nice to have. I mean, even if it's somebody you don't know and it's a celebrity or a musician or who have you, but when it's somebody giving you confirmation that you are not a freak and it is okay to be who you're feeling you are inside. After so many people in your life and the world around you, they're telling you that you're awful and you're going to hell and it's a sin, and you're being like daily like beaten with the Bible, not literally, but they didn't beat us with the Bible, but they did paddle us in school.
Oh, wow.
Which, oddly enough, I'm not kinky, probably because of that. I'm not wild about spankings.
Depends on the time and place.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't have an issue with it. I mean, it's fine. But, I don't know. I suppose with my upbringing, I would think that I would have been kinkier. Oh, well. Well, I guess if I were Catholic, that would have been a different story. Catholics are wild.
Are they? I was raised Catholic for like a couple of years, but my dad married his second wife.
No, I don't know. I mean, are you wild?
Not so much. I'm wildly going through all the 46 seasons of Survivor.
Oh.
So, yeah, wild.
Wow. All
I was
right.
up
Well, I mean,
all night editing a podcast. Wild.
yeah. I mean, you're not doing a podcast on Survivor, are you?
No, God, no.
Can you
I would
imagine?
rather die.
Oh,
I would literally rather die.
yeah. No, was it the new one, the Mexico episode?
Oh no, I'm barely on season 32.
No, I meant of your podcast. Is that what you're editing?
Oh no, last night I edited a New Mexico. We had did like a bonus
New
New
Mexico.
Mexico episode. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I was editing.
I have had an urge to like go out into the desert and listen to Scarlet's Walk.
I love Scarlet's Walk.
Me too. I love Gold Dust. That song just like slaps the crap out of me. It's like so good.
Yeah, that's definitely a bop. I feel like Gold Dust, because it was so perfect for that album closer, that's what brought us Toast and Carrie. What do you think, David?
That she was trying to recreate that to some
We're trying to
degree,
like
or
be as meaningful. We're trying to like have a meaningful punctuation mark on the end of the album.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that is a shift compared to her other album closers up until that point, right?
Yeah, Anastasia, Earthquakes were all like raucous.
Mm-hmm.
Twinkle brought her down. Pandora was sort of
Mhm.
like a little of both. A Thousand Oceans.
Oh, for sure.
What
That's the
was? Oh
shift.
God.
Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Is oh shit. Is Pandora's Aquarium? Is that the last one on Under the Pink?
It's
Choir
called Choir
Girl.
Girl.
Choir Girl. Sorry, wrong one. I know
It's
what I'm
okay.
talking about. Really, I
It's
do.
not called the Trauma Tori podcast.
Oh,
That goes without saying.
Yeah.
I mean, it could. I don't know. But yeah, it's funny because it's like everybody's like, what do you talk about? I'm like, well, it depends on who I have on because obviously, that's my frame of reference. Like, your podcast and your big Tory fans, as am I. Like when I have people who are, like queer horror, we tend to gravitate towards that, or it just really depends. And that's what I think is fascinating because it's like you just learn about people and, you know, all these things that, you're interested in and everybody's takes on it. So it could be traumatory. That's a fun, that rolls off the tongue as well.
Yeah, Trauma Tori. That's what you mean.
Yeah.
I need to do more reading. That's what I need to do. That's what I'm working out in my life. Is
You're
like how to
reading the
read
Brothers
more.
Karamazov, right?
I know. Yes, I am, but I need to do more reading. I need to spend more of my. I want to watch all the movies. I want to read all the books. I want to read. I want to watch all the TV shows. I gotta edit all these episodes. I want to be able to do it all, and I don't know how to get it all done.
Well, that's what it means to be a modern woman. I think you're doing a pretty good job.
Thanks, but
Hey,
like, I want to do it all.
I know. You're trying to be a career woman of the 90s. I get it.
I want to have it
No,
all
I don't
done
want
to
to.
me. I don't want to do it all.
Yeah, I just don't want to work, so I
Oh,
can't
well,
be a
Yeah,
career woman.
I know.
That really gets in
Yeah,
the way, huh? It sucks.
it sure does.
Well, you need to find a way to monetize your efforts, I suppose.
Yeah, monetize my reading.
Yes.
That would be nice.
Or
Some
just
people
like,
are really good at that. I'm not the best at that.
oh,
I'm not
well,
the worst at it, but I'm not the best.
It's just a shame, like most queer people, I guess, we go super niche. So, with no matter what it is, not just Tori, but it makes it hard to find a broader audience or monetize
Yeah,
anything when it only appeals to a very specific,
yeah,
smallish group of people.
yeah, but we don't always. Like, why I could have just as easily, if I wanted to, do like the songs of Beyonce and go into every Beyonce song,
You
and
could,
that
but
that
would
would
you
have a
be
wider
as
appeal. No, I would definitely not be as
yeah?
passionate about that.
please don't. I'm just kidding.
No, I won't. But like, no, but I'm saying like we like super popular things as well. Like,
Yeah.
Charlie XCX. We're talking Chapel Roan right now.
Hmm.
Taylor Swift, of course. So, I don't know. It's how to monetize how to monetize just our existence. Let's bring it to it.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like if I don't know if it were monetized for me, I mean maybe someday, but like I don't want to do it if there's pressure. I don't want to do it if it's not fun and I don't get something out of it.
Mm.
Um, I don't know, but a niche.
I'm not necessarily talking about the podcast. I'm just talking about everything. Like
Oh, just
monetize your breathing.
life. Oh yeah,
You know,
I get $1 per breath.
that'd be nice. That'd be nice.
We could monetize sleeping. That would be great because then I'd sleep all the time.
I would be broke. What
Can
Oh my
confirm.
do you want to talk
Like,
about, David?
What's that?
What are you thinking?
Um, what am I thinking? We were talking about. We weren't talking about it. I guess I intend to talk about horror. I'm just wondering what your guys' picks would be for best recent horror or upcoming horror that you're excited about.
I loved Maxine.
You did. We haven't had a chance to talk about it yet.
I
Great.
loved it. I gave it 4.5 stars. I
um,
loved it. I loved it.
I think it
I
ended up
liked
being my
it.
favorite of the three, actually. But sorry, go ahead.
Mm,
Really?
no, Pearl is still my favorite of the three. I liked Maxine. I didn't like it as much as I thought I would. I didn't hate it, but I
Mm-hmm.
definitely there were a few little plot holes and things, and just I don't know. Like I kind of wanted more.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I mean, I do think it was fun, and I do love the visual, and I think they did a good job. I felt like it was slightly lacking, but I don't know. I still loved it. Yeah, don't get me
I
wrong.
loved it. I knew that there were things like there were problems with it. There's some issues with it.
Yeah,
Um, but I just loved her hair. I loved the vibe of the film. I loved
yeah.
it. I loved
Well, I
the
think part of it too is like the first two were filmed back to back, and this one there was a break in between. So I think
Mhm.
that's um,
Yeah.
a part of the flow. I guess it's got a different flow to it. I did yesterday see Long Legs, and that was fucked up.
See, I hated that. I didn't really like that at all. I didn't think it was scary.
Oh,
I can.
okay. Well,
I feel that or I'm getting that your feelings have continued to evolve because I don't think when we first talked about it, you said you hated it.
Oh, me?
Yeah.
Um, I feel like now I have to stand my ground.
I appreciate it because you really sort of key in on performance, which makes sense given your background, and I'm more about really though, because you were sort of commenting on some things that I wasn't necessarily super focused on. I'm just like more about vibe usually, and if Oz Perkins goes for anything, it's kind of like a tone poem.
Hmm.
First and foremost, I wasn't necessarily put off by the performances the way that you were. So
What did you think of Long Legs? You said you just saw it?
yeah, I saw it yesterday. No, I loved it, but I mean, like, I always say that my favorite horror movie, which is not necessarily horror, is Silence of the Lambs, and it
it's
definitely had
definitely horror.
Okay, well, I mean, some people are like, well, and I'm like, okay. People like to nitpick, especially like giant, like crazy horror fans sometimes. I don't know. I wish that people would just like let people like whatever they like and not like have to, you know, but actually, but no, because I think that's one of my favorites is because every time I see it, it scares me, it freaks me out. Like no matter how many times I watch it, it's just creeps the hell out. And I felt like Longlegs had very much a vibe of that. Um, my only thing with Longlegs is the whole thing with the mother. That part I was like, mm. The rest of it I thought was brilliant. Like Nicolas Cage was great. I thought the main actress was great. I thought the cinematography and all of the camera effects were really cool. So I definitely, I really liked it, and I felt like it was on a similar level to Silence of the Lambs.
Hmm.
And also, it's wild that it was directed by Norman Bates' son.
Well, that's really one of the reasons why I appreciate the third act, and I don't know if you want to call it a twist, but the reveal. And then I also don't know how spoilery we want to get, but I've heard a lot of criticism of the third act, and it seems like you're kind of on the same page, and I feel like that kind of elevated it to something unique.
Yeah,
Beyond just kind of a procedural story about tracking down a serial killer. And I'm also really kind of intrigued by what Oz Perkins has talked about in terms of what he is kind of working out in his films about his own parents,
yeah,
and specifically his mom. So I think that really kind of adds a lot of richness to that
yeah.
element of the story.
I mean, I think the thing is with the third act, I feel like it was very quick, and I feel like there were certain things I guess they could have explained more. And I mean, I guess some of it you just have to kind of like, oh, well, that's that. Um, and I don't really want to spoil it in case people. I mean, it just came out, so I don't know. But no, I did really like it, and it was just there were I know tiny. I don't have too much criticism for it, but yeah,
Hmm.
fucking Nicolas Cage was creepy as hell in that. I am glad that I went and saw it with a friend because I was like, I don't know if I want to see it by myself. I mean, it's not like I wasn't like jumping or like, oh my god, but it was just creepy.
Mm.
And also, it's weird that now the previews before movies, it's like I swear to God, it's like 20 different previews.
So you're exhausted by the time the movie starts. You're like, what am I
Yeah,
seeing?
yeah, yeah. And there's so many things that I'm like, oh, I've never seen that, and because I guess they have Smile 2, and I've never seen Smile 1, and I'm like, I guess I have
You ever
some.
saw Smile?
No,
Oh, it was fun. I thought
I
so.
know I should.
My theater, I'm just going back to trailers for a second. My theater, I guess, has started um, inserting like beer commercials and random product commercials between the trailers. So you think the trailers are over. I'm like, okay, we're gonna get into like the AMC Nicole Kidman intro and the movie will start now, but then it goes back into trailers. I'm like, God, when will this end?
Yeah, yeah, it was stifling because like it used to be like the time on the ticket was like you had to be there and like you're gonna miss it. Now
It's
it's
like a
like,
Madonna show.
oh, wah wah. I won't get on my soapbox about that. I'm tired. I'm tired of talking about that. No, I mean that's less annoying. The only thing that really pisses me off when people who aren't into her talk to me about is when people come up to me and they're like, "What's up with her face?" I'm like, "Fuck you. You wouldn't say that if it were a guy. So why are you asking?" I'm like, "It's her
Mm.
face, not yours. Who cares? It's her body. It's whatever." This woman the other night was like, "Oh, she's just trying too hard to be young and blah blah." And I said, "Well, should she crochet and like have gray hair and sit in a rocking chair? I don't know. I feel like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't, especially if you're a woman.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. Just let people do whatever they're gonna do, and why does it bother people so much?
It's a good
Just
question.
let everyone live. Damn it.
Leave Britney alone.
Oh God. Oh, did you all watch that Farrah Fawcett documentary?
No.
It's on HBO. not Farrah Fawcett, sorry. Faye Dunaway.
Faye Dunaway?
Farrah Fawcett. Yeah, Faye Dunaway.
Not yet.
Still
It's definitely
no.
on my queue.
I mean, it's good. I definitely think that she had a hand in, I think, producing it, so it was definitely more in a more favorable light. But it still kills me. I mean, she talked about Mommy Dearest, but she's just not. She just regrets doing it, and I feel like she should have just leaned into it.
Why does she regret it?
Well, she was talking about the director. She wishes that like she said she was like overacting and it was too much, and if the director only would have like, you know, reined her in a little bit. I don't know, but she's embarrassed of it. I'm like, but why? The movie's so good. It's campy. It's fun.
I'm kind of scared to watch it because I'm afraid of Faye Dunaway, and I don't know exactly why, other than she seems like a terrifying woman. And
She was awful to me one time.
Okay, I'm waiting for this story, please.
Oh, I realized I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
No. That was all I had.
I had just moved to LA and I had my first job here. I was working at the ArcLight back when there was only one ArcLight, and I was in the concession stand, and she was such a mean person. She just like ordered pop.
I can't imagine Faye Dunaway buying snacks at the movie theater, but go on.
No, it happened. It happened, and it's true. And she was mean.
What did she order? Did she get a hot dog with watermelon?
No, she definitely got she definitely got a popcorn. I think the popcorn might have been it. And
Okay.
I think it was back when the larges were like, because this was when ArcLight was the only theater where you could reserve seats at.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like one of a kind experience, and the larges were like anyone else's mediums, you know? It's like that's the large. Yeah, it was ridiculous. So I remember her walking out with a bucket about that size. So I think she must have gotten a large.
Do you have any idea what she was there to see? Please tell me it was something
No.
like Stick It.
No, it was around it must have been around it was, I could tell you what it wasn't, as long as you don't absorb it and pretend that's what she was seeing.
Okay.
She was definitely not there to see Wallace and Gromit, but that was playing at the same time that incident happened. That's all.
Wallace
So
and
that
Gromit,
same
is that
country.
like the Curse of the Were Chicken or something? What?
I don't know. They had a movie, Wallace and Gromit. I've never seen it, but they had a movie.
I feel like that was the only movie. I never saw it, but I mean, I think they only had the one, maybe.
Did they only have one? I could tell you she didn't. She wasn't there to see that.
I'm sorry, I was wrong.
Well, she wasn't there to see that because that was on the left of the concession stand for
Was
1
it in
week
the
only.
dome?
No, and then she walked to the right. So that's the one I could tell you she wasn't there to see.
Okay, well that was released on October 5th, 2005. So
yeah, and I started working at ArcLight on September 29th, 2005.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it was right in the beginning. So there you go.
Maybe she was there to see like Saw.
You could have your precious Faye Dunaway.
She's not mine.
She's her own.
She's everyone's. No, I don't.
Have you had any other brushes with celebrities that make
Me?
you feel a certain way? Yeah.
When I took my brother hiking at Runyon Canyon for Christmas of '06, he came to visit me for Christmas, and I took him hiking, and he was screaming at me. I was like, "Hurry up!" Like, he was a young child. He was like 12 or 11. I was like, "Hurry up!" He's like, "I have asthma," and he was like being so dramatic. And then right around the time, because we're hiking Runyon Canyon, and Runyon Canyon, and right around the time he was screaming at me, "I have asthma." Paris Hilton walked by with her friend, and they were talking, and I was like,
She's like, asthma, that's hot.
I know, she wasn't paying attention to us, but she just like walked by. I was like, dude, that's Paris Hilton. And suddenly, you've never seen anyone hike faster than my 12-year-old brother.
God.
Suddenly he was breathing deeply like nobody's
Yeah.
business.
Yeah, it was kind of creepy. I was like, why are you breathing so deeply?
Oh my God.
But yeah, that was Paris. I've met Tori Amos.
I have not met Tori. I mean, I feel like I've met her, but I haven't met her.
Yeah. Have you been to a meet and greet?
No.
No?
Mm-mm.
I hope they come back. They're not here for now because of the COVID,
Yeah.
because of that Joe Biden disease.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I have met Madonna.
You have?
Hmm. I have.
Wild.
Yeah.
Wild.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
still, every time I tell it, I feel like I'm lying because I'm like, who the fuck meets Madonna?
Like you
So,
talked to her?
um, I don't even remember if anything. Well, I don't even remember if anything came out. That's the thing. Like, I
Oh.
was just, it was such a quick thing. It was an MTV contest back in 2000, and they picked like 10 people, and I just entered as many times as I possibly could. And
Wow.
they flew me from California to New York, and we got to see her perform. And before the show,
Was this
uh,
Blind Ambition? No.
no,
Music
Oh.
era must
music.
have been,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
music.
Okay.
It was at Roseanne Ballroom, and they split us into groups because they were like the 10 winners plus their guests, so like about 20 people, and we were the second group to go for the photo, and we were waiting to see her, and then Rosie O'Donnell walks up, and she's like, "Hey, I get going," blah, blah. And I was like, "Rosie, you're not helping."
That's a good Rosie, by the way.
Yeah, but I was like, "Rosie, you're not helping," and I had taken my ex-girlfriend with me at the time, my beard, and uh, I was kind of not hyperventilating, but I was visibly freaking out. And she's like, "You need to calm down." And I was like, "Fuck you! I'm meeting Madonna." No. And then they lined us up for the picture, and we were waiting. And of course, I had to stand in the back because I'm tall. And then she walked in, and I was like, "God, she's tiny." And
Is
then,
she?
yeah, she's 5'4".
Oh my God.
Yeah. And she got in the middle of everybody, and Madonna was in between me and this lesbian, and I I stuck my hand over the lesbian's shoulder and put my hand on Madonna's shoulder in the picture.
Oh,
And
cute.
as she was leaving, she was like, thanking her for coming and blah, blah, blah. And I reached my hand over a sea of people, and she shook my hand, and that was it. I don't even know if I actually said anything to her.
Oh,
I
wow.
was just so
That's
like, uh.
that's so
And then
amazing.
we went out into where the show was happening, and I barely remember the show because I was just like, I just fucking met Madonna.
Okay, well,
And
if I were Madonna, what would you want me to know? What would you tell me?
well, I think I've told her manager twice now, like because when I saw her in 2012, he saw my Madonna tattoo, and he was like, "Holy shit, I'm gonna interview you." I'm like, "Okay." So he found me, and he put the camera on me. And I'm sitting there talking to him and looking at him because I'm like, well, in interviews, you don't look right in the camera. And he goes, "Don't tell me, look in the camera and tell her." And I'm just like, I want to vomit. But I just told him, I said, she was my first bag hag. She was my, introduction to the gay community. And she was the first person who told me I wasn't a freak. And, I don't remember all of what I said, but, at least I was able to say that. And possibly she's seen it.
Oh, good.
So, but yeah, it was a very meeting her was almost like a dream sequence because it doesn't seem like it happened. And I met other
That's.
people, but that was probably the biggest feather in my cap.
I feel like my only story to relate to that is that I saw Britney Spears
Mm.
because there was a contest when she was doing her circus tour. Every
Oh yeah,
stop
yeah.
would have like a scavenger hunt, and then she would tweet clues. And
Hmm.
when she was in LA, the clue was fairly obvious that it was at the Kodak Theater. So there was a ton of gay dudes there looking for the clue, and a ton of like 13-year-old girls. So I'm serious. It was like dozens of gay men and dozens of 13-year-old girls running around, lifting up like trash cans and like trying to find this clue, whatever it was. And it ended up being a gay guy. A gay guy came out on top, but it was brutal. It was brutal. You know, twinks were shoving little girls down the stairs. It was terrible. But anyway, so then the contest winner got to get a picture with Brittany. Brittany literally, and then we were all, of course, standing like on the balcony looking over. And she got out of the car, got out of the limo, stood up right next to the guy, got the picture, and got right back in the car. There was it. The whole thing was 5 seconds. It was 10 seconds max. It was like no conversation. They didn't hug. They didn't talk. They didn't touch. She got out of the car, literally stood in front of him. They took the picture, and she got back in the car.
Oh my God.
I know. Poor guy.
See, and you saying twinks and 13-year-old girls, that reminds me of when I saw Nick Jonas and Demi Lovato.
Truly.
That was such a weird audience. I was like, this is okay. It's just little girls and gay men.
We do have a lot of crossover taste.
Yeah, yeah.
I saw
Uh,
Michael Jackson in the wild once.
oh,
You did?
I did when I was in
Whoa.
Vegas to see Tori. I accidentally
oh.
ran into Michael Jackson.
What?
Yeah,
Mm.
You
just
never told me
wandering
this.
through the New York casino. Obviously,
You
with
never
like a full
told me this.
entourage, but we were like, check it out, Michael Jackson.
Mm.
That's amazing. Did you talk to him?
No, we were not going to be
Oh,
getting close to Michael Jackson, even if we'd wanted to.
I
oh.
know.
Instead, we
And he
asked
was
Tori
prob-
for London Girls. Just kidding. I mean, someone did, but
and he was probably a little old for Michael Jackson anyway at the
oh
time. So.
no, dear, oh dear.
Oh, no, what? Oh, David was?
Yeah.
Should we talk about how we feel about Michael Jackson or no? But we can say that. You don't have to.
I mean, I have before. I've canceled the fuck out of him. I was abused as a child, so I'm like, nope. I'm like, I saw the documentary. I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah.
Whether he did or didn't, I still think there's a lot of questionable behavior. So I'll just leave it at that. He's talented, but I think as a person, no. But also, he had a lot of people that just told him yes, and I think that, yeah. Anyway,
I recently watched the Sheryl Crow documentary, and she addressed Michael Jackson way more directly than I anticipated that she would.
There's a
Not at
Sheryl
all.
Crow
Yes,
documentary?
there is.
yeah,
What's it called?
Um,
I think it's just called Cheryl
I think
or
you're
something.
right. Yeah,
Should
it's
be
on
called.
Showtime.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
What, do you hate Sheryl Crow?
No, what does she have to do with Michael Jackson? Does she have like a
She
connection with him?
She was a
toured.
backup singer for
Yeah,
him.
Oh,
yeah,
she was? I didn't know that.
yeah.
And I don't hate
Yeah,
Sheryl
she
Crow.
had giant hair, and she sang "I Just Can't Stop Loving You" with him.
I don't hate Sheryl Crow. I just hate what she did to that poor guy who wrote Leaving Las Vegas.
Oh gosh.
Don't get me started. Don't
Don't
get
make
me
me sing.
started.
Don't make me sing.
Well,
No, wait, what did she say about Michael
then it
Jackson?
might please you to know, I guess, that she also feels terrible about it, and watching her discuss it in the documentary is really difficult.
She says something about it?
Yes.
Yeah.
She feels terrible about what she said on Leno or Letterman?
Yeah, I think it's a little more complicated than that, but yes.
Well, yeah. Well, good. I mean, not good. I wish the guy. I mean, I don't know. You can't. It's like that woman that girl. She's a teenage girl who was like texting her boyfriend in the truck to commit suicide. Like,
Oh, yeah.
ultimately, he took his own life. So, like, who's to blame? You can't blame Sheryl Crow, really. You know.
Yeah.
But she could have been kinder, is all. I don't know. But what did she say about Michael Jackson?
I'm not sure she said anything unkind. Certainly not on
You
the
said she
Tonight
directed.
Show.
No, about the guy. You're talking about the Leaving Las Vegas guy?
Yes.
No, she wasn't unkind. She just pretended that it was her life story, thereby erasing his entire identity. That's worse than cruel.
I'm not sure she has that much power, but I get what you're saying.
Well, I mean,
She's a witch.
she was getting she was getting national attention for this song and attempting to claim it was her life story. But anyway, let's not fight on a Thursday.
I'm sorry not to get into it, but the question is pretty. He says, like, is this song autobiographical? And she kind of hems and haws and ends up saying yes, but I'm not sure that's any different than someone asking Tori, like, is your cover of New Age autobiographical? She would probably have some, like, long winded, sort of bullshitty answer
Well,
about
Lou
how it
Reed's
both is
dead.
and
Should we look
isn't.
into that now
Yeah, I
too?
guess we should.
Oh my God.
God. Um. So wait, what did Sheryl Crow say about Michael Jackson for the fifth and final time?
She says that she was very naive at the time, but she did think it was questionable that he had young boys with him on tour. And looking back on it, she um, and feels for the children and their families, and she's kind of unclear how this was allowed to happen, essentially. But she doesn't
Interesting.
deny anything, or she's not vague about it in any sense.
Say Wednesday. Today's Thursday.
Yeah.
Thursday. Why?
Oh my God. Well, keep going. So nothing's wrong. Everything's fine.
Oh no.
I just realized I haven't taken my medication yesterday or today.
Oh.
I
Oh,
just came
I
to
took
take.
mine before I started this thing.
It's because I was editing all day and I just
Oh,
lost
yeah.
track of time. Oh no,
You
no!
need to got to take your birth control.
Yeah, I gotta take my anti-werewolf pills.
Take it while you
And
can.
then, thanks. Yeah. What else? Is this at
What?
all interesting? Any of this?
Of course, it's all interesting.
Oh, okay.
But what did she say about Michael? No, I'm just kidding.
No, seriously.
But
No,
what did
I
you
don't
say about
know.
Janet Jackson?
What?
I said, but
Did
what
she
did she
talk
say
about
about?
Janet?
No, she
Don't
doesn't.
get me
But
started with Janet
that's
Jackson
I know.
either.
That's why I made the joke.
Don't get me started with Janet Jackson.
Don't get me started.
Oh, my God.
Boy,
Sorry, I'm taking my vitamins.
do it. I thought you said it was anti-werewolf pills.
Yeah, I'm taking them all at the same time, and now I'm gonna have to take a double dose and take some later tonight, so that I can make sure that my dispenser is empty. That's how it works. If you
Why
miss
would you
one day,
not
you
want to
just
turn into a werewolf?
no. It's my fish oil. No wonder my knees were locking up. Just kidding.
I mean, there are probably other reasons.
No, yeah. Well, I was standing all day editing that. I was standing like for
Huh.
20 hours. It's terrible.
20 hours straight, just standing,
Yeah. Last week
editing.
I stood for like almost 40 hours straight. Well, like
What?
I would like walk and stuff. I'm not like just standing stick straight.
Yeah.
And I'm like kind of like leaning on the desk sometimes, so like I'll bend my knees and stuff, but I'm standing the whole time. It's yeah.
People
Anyway,
don't know what it takes.
I
just to
know.
stand all day.
Yeah, and to edit a
And edit.
podcast about
What?
Mexico.
That's why you don't edit. I applaud that.
Yeah, makes sense.
I could never. There's
I think
500
it's
things
more
I would already
interesting
put
that
up.
way. Like I mean, not that there's anything wrong with editing, but like I've had a couple episodes where it was just me and I read some stuff from my book and I had to keep like redoing it and it was frustrating and I felt like it just took a lot out of it and it wasn't as like genuine because I kept like doing different takes and I was like, this is lame. I'm like, I'd rather just do it. But then I didn't want to sound like an idiot tripping over my words. So I don't know. I mean, and like I've always said, there's no one way to do anything. If you're getting the results that you want to achieve, then, whatever works for you. I don't know. I just like pressing record, putting it up online and being like, there we are.
This was what I was gonna say earlier. Like, I agree with you, whatever works for you, and whatever it is that you're after, perfect, which is why I think that humans are ultimately unreliable narrators in terms of, and I take this back to what we said earlier, because there was no way that I was not going to love Maxine. I had tickets to Maxine, to see Maxine on Tuesday. I had gotten those tickets a week in advance. And then I had planned out that I was going to see Maxine on Tuesday night and that I had to watch X and Pearl on Tuesday so I could do a triple feature in the day. And I was looking forward to it for a week. And I had already seen X, but not Pearl. And I or maybe I had seen Pearl. I can't actually remember. And if there was no way I was not going to like it, there was no way I was going to sit through. I just was going to like them. So I feel like even even there's even if it had been the worst movie in the world, I would have found great value in it because I wanted to be happy. That was just
Yeah,
what I wanted that moment. I wanted to like have this triple feature horror Mia Goth adventure. And so
yeah,
there's no way I was going to not like it. But and whether I liked it or talked myself into liking it, I'll never know. That's why you
right,
can't even trust yourself. So going to what you're saying, like however it works for you, that's it's like in everything.
yeah.
I'm ever changing.
Yeah, and I enjoyed all of that because it's like my friend Andy had not seen any of the movies. So like for 3 weekends in a row, we went and saw X, and then we went and saw Pearl, and then the next weekend we saw Maxine. And so that was just doing that and having that experience with my friend was great. And like him seeing it for the first time and us being able to talk about all that, it was cool.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a fun ride seeing it back to back.
Mm,
And then catching little things that you didn't realize before, like, oh, okay, there's like almost like little Easter eggs here and there.
yeah.
So,
Like Dave. Yeah. What do you think, David?
I'm just wondering if you're saying you sort of gaslit yourself into liking Maxine, and now you'll
No.
never know if that's genuine or not. Because
No.
I do that myself, and you and I have talked about it. I was so like frothing at the mouth for Long Legs. I'm like, well, I was sort of let down by it, but I didn't dislike it. But like, what are my feelings about this really? I'm gonna have to see it again, and I plan to,
I
so that I
wasn't
can be
let
a little more
down by it.
clear-headed about it. But
No, I wasn't let down by it at all. I really enjoyed it. I was let down by the conversation afterwards, and I'm really let down by people in general in this world.
that's fair.
Like the movie is over. The movie has just ended. However, you can see that there is a continuous widening shot happening, and it continues to pull out, and more is revealed. So why are you asking me what I thought about the movie when the movie's not fucking over yet? Shut up. Stop talking to me. Let me be in my zone. Let me process my own thoughts. As soon as I stood up, my friend Colton, God bless, who I love Colton, handed me a piece of paper and was like, this was my prediction. And he'd written it down in the middle of the movie.
oh my
And
God.
I was like,
Why
and
does he
he was
have like a
right.
lounge act going for the
No,
movie?
because
Like
he,
Karnak.
no, because we were at a Alamo Draft House with paper and pencil. So the moment he realized it was the person that was doing the stalking, he wrote it down, and I had seen him write it down, so I knew when he caught it. Anyway, the point is, I think I need to go to movies alone. I need like an hour afterwards to process it on my
Yeah,
own. Yeah, because if I had processed Maxine, like there's a couple of issues I have with it now, but it doesn't take away from the fact that I really enjoyed it.
Right.
You know, it's just like it's just like issues of like it's like what do you call them, they're just like issues of like perception, or no, like what, like scholastic issues, scholarly issues, like I have like what are the implications of what's happening in this scene and why did this happen this way, because what is it implying, but that wasn't implying anything to me when I was watching the movie.
I think you
Yeah.
should. I prefer to see movies by myself, meaning going by myself, but also if I can also be the only person in the theater, that's great too. And I get to experience that in my area way more than one would think,
Yeah,
where I'm the only person in the movie theater.
me too. I can, you can make it, you, if you have the Alamo Draft House Pass here in LA, you can see all the seats, and especially because it's like 10 in the morning on a Monday, no one's
Oh
there.
yeah,
Yeah, I saw Thelma alone. Have you seen Thelma?
No.
You have to see Thelma if you get a chance.
Okay.
Luckily, you're in a big city, so.
I mean, I've seen Thelma and Louise.
Oh, I haven't seen
Different
that.
Thelma? No.
There's a different Thelma. It's a great movie. I'm gonna be Thelma for Halloween.
have you started
I need
working on
to
that?
look
What?
this up.
Have you started working on that? Your Thelma
No.
costume?
All I need is like a jean shirt, a denim shirt, jean pants. I actually don't remember what she was wearing. I just remember her vibe she gave me.
Oh, it's that lady.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She's wearing a jean shirt, right? Yeah. Oh no, it's a blue shirt. But I love her. I want to be her. Oh, she is
June
wearing a jean.
Squibb. Is that her?
Yeah, June Squibb.
Okay.
You're going as June
Uh,
Squibb for Halloween? This is
no, I'm
incredible.
going as Thelma. I want to have the scooter, the bag, the jeans, the blonde, the gray wig. I want to ride through West Hollywood Parade as Thelma.
Yeah.
If you do that, I might have to come out for it.
I'm only ever old ladies. I was free then. Anyway, do you like
Oh my God.
Halloween? Nick?
Do I?
Boy, do I.
The movie or the holiday?
Yeah, it's always Halloween in my heart. For 3 seasons, I worked as a store manager at Spirit Halloween. I've always loved Halloween. I have a jack-o'-lantern tattoo and a candy corn tattoo and bats and a ghost and yes, skulls.
Oh.
Yeah, that's my jam. But I'm glad that I won't be doing Spirit anymore because I can actually have a Halloween. Because last year was like my last season with them. I'm just like, I can't. I'm like, by the time I get to Halloween, I'm just so like, I don't want it anymore.
See, that's what I was
Just take the
thinking
fun out of it.
when we were talking earlier about monetizing your passion. That's not always a good way to go because it can rob you of
Oh
the
yeah,
joy of it.
no. And I've also decided that I don't want to be like manager of anything anymore because it's just horrible and it's stressful. So I just want to have fun and make money, but someday I'll have my old life back.
Someday I'll have fun.
One day, one day.
Well, I feel like we should maybe wrap up. I don't know. It's
Okay.
been forever. No.
Has it been?
Okay.
Oh God! See, don't feel obligated. See, this is why we edit because we're
No, it's fine. It's been. I'm trying not to have. I think my longest I ever did was like close to 3 hours. I'm like, I can't do that anymore. I mean, this hasn't been 3 hours.
okay. Well, it's your show, so you take the wheel. Jesus.
I know. But I feel that you should plug your podcast on my podcast because,
Oh, sure.
I like to whore people out.
Great. The podcast is called Drive All Night, the songs of Tori Amos, where we go through every song of Tori Amos in chronological order by release date. We build a time capsule for each song, including quotes, live performances, occasional special guests, people that have worked on the song, people that have intimate knowledge of the song in other ways, and of course, super fans. We also have a sister podcast doing the same thing for her tours called Tour All Night. And then we have a third show, which is a daily show where we pull a song out of a bag every day and give you sort of like a little pep talk, and that's hosted by Rose Crest. She's our resident yogini. Yeah, those are our shows. Never Shut Up, Tour All Night, and Drive All Night's the big flagship show. So that's the one everyone should go to first. If you like
So
that one.
what album are you guys on right now, or what song?
Well, on the main feed, we have started Strange Little Girls. So right as of this date, our next episode to produce for that season would be Strange Little Girl, track 3. But on the
Nice.
Patreon, we're finishing up our Little Earthquakes B-sides because we're redoing all of Little Earthquakes and all of Under the Pink and all of Boys for Pele. Surprise, David. So those are happening on the Patreon simultaneous to the main stuff happening on. So there's a lot of content. There's a lot. She has 400 songs. We're going to do them all
That's crazy.
unless we expire.
You never know; it might happen. I don't know.
Yeah, unless
But then you'll
Cheryl Crow
continue to
says that
do
it's
it
her
from the
work.
netherworld.
Unless Cheryl Crow says this is her podcast. Finish it.
Oh,
Oh, poor Cheryl.
Sheryl Crow wrote all those songs. It's about her life.
Oh, well, I feel bad for Cheryl. Is this true, David? I have this memory, but it might not be true because you saw the documentary. That all her masters burned down in that tape fire?
Yeah, they don't mention that in the documentary actually,
They
but a
don't?
lot of them were lost. Yeah,
Damn, no one deserves that. That sucks.
it's actually
Not even
true of
Cheryl
Cheryl
Crow.
Crow, not true of Tori. But people seem to conflate those things and claim that Tori's masters were lost in a fire.
No,
which they
Tori
weren't.
has all her masters,
I
doesn't
know,
she?
of course she does. Of course she does.
Yeah, okay. Whew. Do you know that there's like Madonna stems out there? Or I don't know
Madonna who's now?
Madonna stems. So like there's a bunch of her songs out there that have the stem tracks, which are basically like the stems are like, so like any song that she's done, like Borderline, for example, has like
Mm.
15 stems. So you've got one track that's just like the kick drum, and one track that's just the
Oh, okay.
snare, and one track that's
I
like,
just don't know if I've ever heard of it. Stems. I mean, I know the tracks and all that, but I guess that makes
yeah,
more sense.
they're all called stems. They're like little pieces that all make one. Anyway, there's a bunch of Madonna stems out there. Um, and it's easier and better to remix from stems, because everything's isolated and clear.
Yeah.
Um, so I'm sure that like because she's had so many remixes over the years, I'm sure some remixers have leaked the stems, but I don't know if you're into any of that, but yeah, I just wanted to let you know.
I do love remixes and yeah.
Did you tell us your favorite Madonna song?
Oh, I did not. And it's of course I got to be all like fanboy and snobby about it. No, it's "Till Death Do Us Part." It's
Oh,
from
I love that song. Like
I
her.
love that song. Unlike Prayer, it's a happy little song about domestic abuse. Yay!
Yay, David, what's your favorite?
My favorite Madonna song?
Yes.
That's tricky. I really love Easy Ride.
Love what?
Crickets. Easy
I didn't
Ride.
hear
Oh,
Easy.
Easy
I didn't
Ride,
hear.
yeah,
I didn't
from
hear that.
MDNA. Yeah, yeah. No,
It's American
American
Life.
Life. Oh, I'm fired.
I don't know
I
that
was
song.
picturing Falling Free. I was like, wait, different end track.
Yeah.
I don't know that song. I don't know anything past music. My favorite Madonna song is "Waiting" from
Oh,
Exhausted
that is a good
Cop.
one. Next time you
Waiting.
want pussy, just look in the mirror, baby.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
I love that era. I love Dita.
Dita, I loved her too.
Mm.
Well, thanks for letting us in your house.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for being on. I'm glad this happened. It was fun. It was like this, who knew that so many parallels between the two gals. I
You
don't
think
know.
that
I think I would love to sit there and listen to them talk. I think that would be a really interesting conversation.
the Battle of the Accents?
Oh, well, yeah, because Tori does get
It's not even
a
accents
little,
anymore. It's the Battle of Affectation at this point.
yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And then just put Neil Gaiman in there for fun. I do love all the Neil references. I do love Neil Gaiman. I mean, how could
Um,
you not? How could you not be it? Well, I don't know if you all love him.
I've never really been into graphic novels. I
I mean,
tried
he
to.
writes actual books.
I know. I tried to read American Gods, and I
Oh, it's so
couldn't get
good.
in. I couldn't get into it. But
It's fine.
this was 12, 15 years ago, something like that. I couldn't get into it.
Well, you said you wanted to read more. You should read that.
Well,
And
okay,
there'll be a quiz.
that's a good point. I usually generally read nonfiction or really like old literature because I mean, whatever. It's so dumb. All right. Only because, no, whatever. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I try not to read any fiction whatsoever. And that's what I was going to say, but then I knew David would call me out by saying I'm reading the Brothers Karamazov, but that was a book that my uh, AP English teacher said that I would never finish, and she, until this moment, has been right, but I'm getting through it. So that's what's it called? That's trauma. You want to talk about
That
trauma?
is, yeah.
No running commentary, Efren, she would say in class. Anyway, sorry. So I have to read that
Oh,
one, but I generally don't read fiction at all. I read either plays or nonfiction.
mm. All right. Well,
But you can like
I,
Neil Gaiman. You go for it.
I mean, I do. And I like the back and forth with him and Tori, and I like their friendship. Um, it's fine.
Great.
Well, everyone check out Drive All Night and etc. Like all your other 500 podcasts.
Everything. You can find everything at Drive All Night on Instagram or Twitter, just at Drive All Night. Oh no, sorry,
and
that's
their
not right.
and their
That's not right.
podcast.
Too bad you don't edit. You can find everything at Songs of Tori Amos.
I know. And then they have a podcast where they talk about Tori Amos glasses. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, we
Can you
should.
imagine?
Yeah,
That'll probably
She's
happen at
wearing
some
blue
point.
frames today.
we should. We could do that. I once saw her put her glasses on top of her other glasses.
Oh my God.
She was already wearing a pair of glasses. Phoenix 2022. She was already wearing a pair of glasses, and then she put another pair of glasses on top of the other glasses,
That's just bedlam.
and
I
then
just laugh.
played with the both pairs of glasses on. It wasn't like an accident. Like she thought, "Oh, I don't have my glasses on." It was she pulled the pair that she was wearing down for the bottom half of her eye and put the other pair on for the top half of her eye.
Hmm. She's making her own bifocals.
Yeah, good for her. All right. Well, thank you for having us.
Thank you. It was
Thank
very
you for
nice.
being on.
Sorry we got drunk.
Say what?
Sorry we got drunk at the party.
Oh. No, it's been fun. Thank you so much for being on, and I will definitely talk to you all later.
Yes, you
Okay.
will. All right. Bye.
All right. Have a
Bye.
lovely day.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.